My dead fiancé's name was John, and I'll start at the beginning about 4 years ago. I was engaged to John after dating for 4 years. When he proposed, the ring he used was 2 sizes too big. We went to the store where he bought it from 2 weeks before proposing, and he kept the receipt. We got the right size and kept the same style. We did plan to have a wedding after 3 years of planning and saving. 10 months after the proposal, John passed away in a car accident. I used the savings for the wedding to pay for his funeral. The day after the funeral, John's brother came to me asking for the ring. I asked why, and his response was that the ring had been passed down in their family for 5 generations. I told him that was BS because I have proof that the ring was bought for me less than a year ago. We argued for a bit and then he stormed out. Then I started getting calls from John's family saying I'm a liar and demanding the ring. Then I got a letter from their lawyer, and in the letter they also demanded that I reimburse them for the costs of John's funeral. So I got myself a lawyer, showed the proof about the ring, and that I paid for the funeral in court, and I won. I thought that madness was over until John's sister recently messaged me. She and her boyfriend are engaged but haven't gotten a ring, and she wants John's ring. After I said no, she went crazy and kept messaging me non-stop, demanding. I have blocked her over and over, but she finds a way around it. I was having brunch with my friend. My mobile was on the table. A message from sister popped up and my friend saw it. My friend knows about everything from before sister's first message. I explained about her messages, but my friend believes I'm an AH and I should give her the ring. She told my other friends and they are all saying the same things. Now I'm doubting myself. So am I the idiot? Edit to add, thank you all for your support. I didn't expect this post to have so much attention. I'll try to reply to all your comments. I'm adding more info as requested and to answer the repeated questions. Extra info about the ring. This ring is part of a company that designs jewellery based on movies and mass produces each style in different sizes. This company started after 2000. When we went to the store to get the right size, John asked for ring 1 to be swapped with the right size and the same style ring 2. If he did modify ring 1 with any family diamonds, he would have asked for ring 1 to be resized. After the swap, and when telling his parents about the engagement, I showed them the ring, and John told them about where he bought it and about the size swap. His parents never said anything about an heirloom ring and family diamonds. It was after the funeral when they started saying that their great-great-great-grandparents were the ones who bought this ring, and it's an heirloom. Extra info on funeral costs. John's parents messaged me about not being able to afford the funeral. My thoughts at the time were that the reason they couldn't afford it was because his sister is about to start college, and they put the wedding fund to good use because the wedding isn't going to happen anymore. I paid for everything for the funeral. His parents didn't pay at all. I guess during my grief and shock of John's death, it might have made me forget that his family owned most of the business and housing accommodations in town. It was during court that I found out that he had life insurance, that money went to his parents, and it was double the cost of his funeral. Extra info about court. When I received their lawyer's letter, I thought it might be fake. But I called my friend, who is a lawyer. I explained the situation to him and asked him to check if this letter is real or fake. He told me to meet him with the letter and all my documents for the ring and funeral. He said the letter is real and he will help me. I did think that after their lawyer saw my proof, that would be the end of the madness. But the next thing I knew, we were in court. Most of the time I was confused, but I just spoke the truth and showed all my proof. The judge awarded me to be reimbursed for funeral costs, legal fees and emotional distress. Reason why John's sister wants the ring. In her first message asking for the ring, she said that John would want her to have it. It would feel like John is part of her next step in her life, and let his spirit know he is not forgotten. Sister knows that the ring was bought by John because she was at the engagement party. At the party we told everyone how the proposal went and about swapping rings due to a size issue. I should have mentioned that the ring is LOTR themed and we were planning on an LOTR themed wedding because we met at an LOTR event. I recall Sister telling John to change the ring to a Disney theme, her protests of our theme idea, and saying a Disney wedding instead during the engagement party. To explain why my friends think Sister should have the ring, the friend from brunch, who saw the messages from Sister and told the others about this, reads Sister's first message asking for the ring. My friend believes these are good valid reasons from Sister. My friend also believes that the ring should actually be used, not stuck in a box somewhere or most likely lost. I pointed out that I do use the ring. I wore it during the engagement, caught madness with his family, and kept it on for a year after I won the case. Then I only wore the ring on his birthday and the anniversary of our first meeting, when he proposed and when he died. My friend called me a sad, selfish AH and stormed off. The next thing I know, my other friends started messaging me about me being an AH and saying that the sister should get the ring. After the sister's recent messages, I have called my lawyer friend. I sent him screenshots of her messages, and we have a meeting this week. I am also rethinking my friendship with the friends who say I'm an AH and should give the ring to the sister. So after this, I'll update you all. Thank you very much for your support. Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. I'm so sorry for your loss. I'm a little confused about why your friend is siding with John's sister. You've stated that John had purchased your engagement ring and that you had proof and a receipt from the purchase, so the ring wasn't passed down from his family whatsoever. He bought that ring specifically for you. For the family to harass and berate you about the ring that they have no ownership to is wild to me. It is also not your fault his sister's BF didn't buy her an engagement ring. It isn't your responsibility to give her the ring your late fiancé purchased for you. IDK, I think it's a little weird that she wants your ring and not a ring from her actual BF, especially since it doesn't have sentimental value to her. Comment 2. Talk to a lawyer. You are being harassed by the greedy, lying, litigious family of your deceased partner. None of them deserve a damn thing from you, much less your engagement ring your fiancé bought you. His sister can get her ring out if a gumball machine for all you care. It is not your problem or responsibility to provide her with jewellery, not the idiot. And you need better friends if they are siding with the sister. Your ring was important to you. It is yours. Why would you ever lose it? Comment 3. Not the idiot if the ring isn't a family heirloom and was bought for you. I think it's more than fair that you keep it, especially as something that means so much. You already paid for his funeral, and I think that was very kind of you as a fiancé and not a wife. Get your lawyer to make them stop harassing you. I guess the only silver lining here is that you won't be entangled with these people forever. Now, for the update. So, in the last month, things have taken a nosedive from terrible to downright disgusting. The situation with John's family got even messier. Things came to a head when John's sister, in a fit of rage, broke into my apartment to steal the ring. She didn't find it, but she did cause a lot of damage and terrified my poor cat. I've since gotten a restraining order against her, but the whole ordeal has left me shaken. Even worse, there's been this rabid group on social media that found out about the dispute and started harassing me. They're from some fanatic community that believes engagement rings should always stay within the family. They've doxed me, sent me death threats, and even sent a bag of rotting fish to my home. I had to delete all my social media accounts, and I'm seriously considering moving. To top it all off, I recently found out that John's family had been spreading rumours about me. They're saying that I was the one driving the car during the accident and that it was my fault John died. It's an outrageous lie, but some people actually believe them. I can't even begin to describe how hurtful this has been. Back to the ring, my friend's pressure to give it up hasn't let up either. Actually, it's gotten worse. One of them, let's call her Mary, started a petition to have me give the ring to John's sister. She said she's doing it for the sake of peace, but it feels more like a betrayal to me. I never thought my own friends would turn against me like this. There's also been this shady private investigator who's been following me. I caught him taking pictures of me outside my workplace. When I confronted him, he admitted that he was hired by John's family to dig up dirt on me. I reported him to the police, but he's still out there somewhere. So yeah, the past month has been a complete nightmare. I'm emotionally drained and I feel like I've lost more than just John. I don't really know what my next move should be, just wanted to get this off my chest. Thanks for reading if you've made it this far. Now, for the comments. 1. Not the idiot. It sounds like you're dealing with an incredibly difficult and distressing situation. Your sister-in-law's actions were not only illegal, but also dangerous and traumatizing. You had every right to get a restraining order. As for the ring issue, it was John's wish that you keep it. The harassments you're facing are uncalled for, and it's terrifying that you're under such scrutiny for a deeply personal decision. 2. Not the idiot. This is a horrendous situation. The fact that you're being doxxed, receiving death threats, and being harassed online is absolutely unacceptable. You should try to take legal action against those involved. The ring is yours. You have every right to keep it. It's not about the ring per se, it's about respecting John's wishes and your relationship with him. The PI needs to be dealt with legally as well. 3. Not the idiot. It's appalling that your own friends are not siding with you in this difficult time. You're not obligated to give the ring back. It was given to you by John and it's yours to keep. It's even worse that you're being accused of causing John's death. You might want to consider distancing yourself from these people and focus on healing and your own mental health. Now, for the next story. My daughter is 23 and she requested dinner with us because she had something important to tell us, being my wife and me. She introduced us and came out. My wife was emotional, gave her a big hug and told her how proud she was. I, on the other hand, did not react to her coming out. Honestly, I did not care about that part. I was honest, her partner was cool and she was very interesting. My wife told me I was rude for ignoring our daughter's announcement. I told my wife that I did not care who she was attracted to. All I cared about was if she was happy. I tried to explain I did not care about that stuff. People like who they like, I don't need labels for that. Love is love. She said my view is slightly hateful because it shows I am not acknowledging a different view. I do not see it that way. Am I the jerk? Should I apologise to my daughter and her partner? Edit. For added context, I did not treat her situation any differently from her brothers. I took the time to get to know the person they were with. My wife feels I should have treated it differently because they are different situations. Ignoring that fact does not help. Update. Thanks for the input, everyone is right. I should have just asked my daughter. I will see if she is free tomorrow for some coffee and have a chat with her. I'm sure my wife's words just got to me, but only one way to find out, right? Thanks again. Update. Since it always bothered me when people would ghost on threads without giving updates, did not have much time with my daughter. She had a prior engagement, but we had some coffee. We spoke about the evening, as I suspected she did not have an issue with it, and she also felt it was self-explanatory when she introduced her girlfriend. She corrected me since I said partner. They view each other as girlfriend and girlfriend. The coming out was more so her girlfriend's idea, and my daughter said she was going to reach out because while she had no issues with my reactions, her girlfriend thought it was weird how I kind of brushed off the response and treated this situation as if they were a straight couple. My daughter did try to explain that is just the person I am. She explained how she preferred my non-reaction versus making it a big deal. She told the story of how she came to me first when she had her first period because she knew my wife would make a huge fuss over simple biology. I told her I made an "Am I the idiot?" post, and we laughed over some of the comments. We are going to arrange another date, and this time we will have a more special event for the sake of her girlfriend, since she did feel slightly offended by being treated as if they were a straight couple. My daughter had no issues overall, but I will correct course. She was slightly disappointed I did not make a dad joke about her coming out. I did express that my love for her would never change, and I told her I hoped she did not wait so long because she thought I would think differently. She just told me, "I never told you because it was not important to her." She knew I would not care either way. I doubt I will add more updates after this. I might check in every so often. I do appreciate all the varied viewpoints, and please understand, it was not my intention to marginalize the hardships LGBTQA+ face in this world. I know it may be a selfish and self-centered view, but I simply treat others how I wish and want to be treated. I do hope everyone has a wonderful week. Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. As a homosexual, no idiots here. Your wife wasn't wrong for showing effusive support, and you weren't wrong for being supportive in your own way. However, I don't see anything wrong at all with showing that enthusiasm, especially if your daughter took until the age of 23 to come out. Before I came out at 20, I felt like I was running so far behind my peers, living a lie, etc. etc. It's hard. If your kid is middle or early high school age when they come out, I agree normalizing is probably the way to go. But at 23, that is an appropriate age to show a little extra support. The fact is that if you are 21 plus right now, you did not grow up in a world that was very supportive or accepting of gay people. That merits a little extra enthusiasm, love and joy. Internalized shame is a lifelong battle. Comment 2. No idiots here. I do think it might come across weird if one parent gives the child a hug and the other just sits there saying nothing really to acknowledge what was said. People don't have to do a big to-do, but I do think maybe matching the energy and giving her a hug too would have been better. Depends on if you regularly give hugs though, I suppose. I'm doing no idiots here because we don't know the daughter's opinion. I had a bad coming out to my father, but I do like to imagine best case scenario would have been him saying, "I'm glad you felt comfortable enough telling me that," and maybe a hug to acknowledge how difficult it was and show that he still loves me. That would have been nice. Comment 3. Not the idiot. You responded normally. This is what we're trying to move towards. When I came out to my mum, she didn't have much of a reaction. Just spoke to me about how I was feeling like it was the easiest thing to talk about. I was a teenager, and it made me feel good. I had been incredibly nervous about her reaction and was very happy with how mild it was. If your daughter herself asked for a little more validation from you, I'd say of course give it to her. But I don't think big displays of emotion should be expected. Sexuality is natural, it isn't a choice. It shouldn't be more or less celebrated than someone saying they're straight. Now, for the update. So in the past month, things have gotten a lot more complicated than just working on my non-reaction to my daughter's announcement. Instead of things smoothing over, they've taken a dramatic turn for the worst. My wife has become overly supportive, to the point it's becoming a bit obsessive. She's joined every queer plus group in town, she's attending the parades, pride events, and she's even started hosting weekly support groups at our house. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for offering support, but it feels excessive, especially because our daughter hasn't asked for any of this. And it's not just that. My wife has started to use our daughter's sexuality as a conversation starter with practically everyone she meets, even when it's clearly not appropriate or relevant. It feels like she's parading our daughter's sexuality around, like she's more interested in the social points she can score by being the super supportive mum of a queer plus kid, rather than actually being there for our daughter in the way she needs. Meanwhile, my daughter's been increasingly withdrawn. She's not as open about her life or her relationship anymore. and I suspect it's because of my wife's over-involvement. The girlfriend, who was initially a little upset with me, now seems to prefer my company as I treat them like any other couple. In fact, the pair have started to spend more time in my study, away from my wife's zealous involvement. There was an incident last week where my wife invited a local news crew to our house for an interview about her journey as a mother of a gay child. My daughter was mortified and I was livid. I ended up turning the crew away and had a huge argument with my wife. I don't really know what to do, and it's creating a lot of tension in our family. I just want to go back to the way things were before, where we treated our daughter's relationship as we would any other, rather than this circus we've found ourselves in. Any advice would be welcome. Now for the comments. 1. Not the idiot. While it's great that your wife is trying to show support, it's clear she's not considering your daughter's feelings or perspective in all this. She needs to understand that her actions, while stemming from a good place, are actually causing harm. I recommend having a sit-down conversation with your wife and your daughter together to clear up the boundaries and expectations. 2. Not the idiot. It's important to respect your daughter's wishes on how she wants to navigate her own journey. Part of acceptance is treating her the same as you would if she was straight. It seems like your wife is trying to overcompensate and it's causing undue stress. It's time for a family discussion about how to best support your daughter without overstepping her boundaries. 3. Not the idiot. It's commendable that your wife is taking steps to understand and support the queer plus community, but she shouldn't be using your daughter's identity as a platform. It's not her story to tell. Communication is key here. Your daughter needs to let her mum know how she's feeling, and hopefully your wife will understand and adjust her approach. If you like this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.